Hello and welcome to the Cabanga Show!
Tonight, Brazil vs Greece in Group A. In Group B, Argentina take on Italy. Group G, we've got Denmark vs Mexico and Denmark vs Germany. Wowzers! And in Group D, our featured game, South Korea take on France.
Oh, it had drama.
It had action.
It had suspense.
It had it all, and you can see it here
live on the Cabanga Show!
Hello, I'm Buster Douglas.
I'm Jeremiah Francis.
And we're here today to go through our first review show. So we've got some exciting, we're going to show the goals, we're going to show the controversy.
It's been an action-packed weekend in the V.V.G.T World Cup.
First 5 games. Let's get straight into this.
Definitely.
It's good the table's coming to a bit of shape, so we can actually look at the table of some of the teams, see where they're standing. First up, we've got Brazil versus Greece, Group A. Now, before this match, you went down and had a word to some of the guys.
Yeah, I did go down to the stadium and checked out what was going on.
What were the managers' feelings before the match?
Well, you know what? Both managers seemed very buoyant. They were really looking forward to the tournament and seeing what they could get out of, well, not just the group games, but obviously they've both got high expectations of taking the World Championship. I spoke to them before the game. Actually, we spoke to them on last week's show. Here's just a quick recap of what they said before they went into the match. And then we'll cut into some highlights. So here's Daniel Bonner, coach of Australia.
I think we're going to do pretty damn well. You know, we're full of stars and now we've got a star coach. Yeah, look, I reckon if we get the first couple of goals on the board, we should be able to do well from there.
Reasonably confident today. There is an element of doubt. Daniel Bonner's got a proud video game history. I've got a few contacts and I've actually got Nick Giannopoulos who's come over to join the squad.
Interesting words, interesting man.
It was. Anyways, the match kicked off the first game of the tournament live from Nelson Mandela Stadium. It was an interesting match to actually witness. Both teams coming backwards and forth. Lots of shots and goals for Mark Bryant's Greece team.
Yeah.
If he can get his shooting sorted, I think he's got a good opportunity of progressing through the groups. Problem was Brazil were just too strong, and their attacking strength going forward just too much for Greece really.
I heard that after, we probably had some footage of this, him getting frustrated. After the goal went in, he lost all composure. He didn't think he could win it, and he got panicked. He needed to score the goal, and the added pressure he put on himself really let himself down.
Well, Mark Bryant's been a coach for a few years now in the video game soccer managerial sort of Anyways, what I'm trying to get at with this little story here is he did lose his composure. He did lose his composure.
Just said yes. But yeah,
no, he did lose his composure, and Brazil, full credit to them, took full advantage of it, and they've knocked a second goal in.
Yeah.
And game, set, match.
Well, let's have a look at the goals.
Yeah.
The Group A game between Brazil and Greece kicked off the VVGT World Cup in fine style. No changes to the Greece lineup, but Brazil did bring in Kaká in the centre. Brazil had the early advantages with free kicks, shots and goals galore as Brazil looked to experience their Brazilian Flamingo style onto the game. Coach Daniel Bonner wasn't happy that the goals weren't going in, but it didn't take long for the BDO! Go, 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 go! It was 1-0 and Coach Mark Bryant was pissed. He did have his opportunities though to equalise things, but it just wasn't enough. And before too long, goal! Go, 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 go! It was 2-0 to Daniel Bonner's Brazil, and that about wrapped up the game for the Brazilians. Fabiano on fire there. And for the Greeks, well, it's back to the drawing board, as from one game, they sit bottom of Group A.
Let's just move on. Let's have a look at what the managers. Well, after
the game, Mark Bryant was, as one could expect, pretty pissed off about the situation. He had a lot to say actually about his
something about nutrition. I heard, or what might have been the problem.
It was nutrition staff and the play. Look, we're not going to tell you what he said. Take a look for yourselves. This is Mark Bryant, coach of Greece.
Take it away, Mark.
At the start, your team was probably looking for what went wrong.
Yeah, just didn't play as well. Essentially, the crux of the game was they scored more goals than us, and from my years of experience in football, I've come to the realisation that if the opposition score more goals than you, then generally they will get the win, which is what's happened today.
Mark, it wasn't a loss without a fight. You had so many attempts on goals, but a shooting practice this week, mate.
Yeah, mate, the only shooting I'll be doing is my players. I'm just disgusted with their effort. Might also shoot our nutritionist. He got swept up in the spirit of the whole World Cup and the Greek pride, and he actually put our players on a diet of ouzo and feta. And as you can see, it didn't work too well today.
Well, Mark, thanks for your time, mate. Good luck in the next game. Any last words?
No.
Harsh words.
Harsh, very harsh.
Hot words.
Well, let's go on the lighter side. Let's have a look at the winners' corner. Let's have a look and see what Bonner has to say.
And your mate, convincing win, 2-0 winners on the day, and you've pretty much just beaten the strongest competition in the group. How does this make you feel about the team? And
Yeah, great feeling. Really happy I managed to manage from the Brazilian jungle via our live feed. Great effort by the boys. Full credit to the opposition. They did a great job, but it's really hard to come up against such a strong nation with such heart, such passion. Yeah, and anyway, I'm just looking forward to moving on, facing the next few games. Hopefully we can make it to the next round.
Daniel, you've got to be happy with Robinho's goal and the other dude that scored as well.
Yeah, the other dude, Fabiano, I think that's what you mean. Yeah, he excellent goal there, just chopping, changing direction, and bang, hits it straight in. And Robinho, well, everyone knows what Robinho can do.
Daniel, good luck for the tournament, mate. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, mate. I'll see you next game.
Buoyant.
Buoyant. If there's
Buoyant.
one word to describe Daniel Bonner right now, it's buoyant, because he is certainly keeping his head above water. 3 big points for Brazil, and they'll go into the next lot of games full of confidence that they'll progress through.
We said last week on our show that was the game of the group that was going to decide a lot, and well, I think he's a pegged-on winner for the group now, Bonner. And Mark, he's got a bit of a hill ahead of him. He's got to definitely win his 2 next games if he's got any chance of going through.
Well, you look at who's in that group, and I think
Let's just bring the group table up now and have a look.
if you look at that, I think Greece they're going to be okay. I mean, they should scavenge. They've got England with Mohit Patney in charge.
Switzerland and Lager.
They're
winnable matches for him.
They're winnable matches. He's coming up against opponents, that aren't as experienced as him in the world game. He's just got to get the basics right and put that ball on the back of the net.
And he's got to work on his goal difference because that could come into play here.
A lot of things could come into Mark's play.